Hi, good afternoon. Welcome everyone to Coleman Report Live, September 20th edition. I am Joseph Coleman, and Bob is still playing hooky. He's on the road still in Kansas City somewhere. But today we have a special guest, Lance Sexton and Delaney Sexton. So welcome, Lance. Your team is down in Florida, and they're enjoying the Flagel Conference right now, right?
My understanding is that there's some of my team members at Flagel. Wished I could be there, but just too much forgiveness going on right now, Joe.
Absolutely, yeah. We're going to try to get some information from if there's any breaking news. We don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be around the same talking points as America East and Mid-America. However, if something happens, Chris will be on tomorrow, and we'll be sure to give that to you guys. So, Lance, we're going to talk about PDK on Wednesday, so we figured we'd give you a little teaser on to what we're going to be discussing. First of all, give us an update on what's going on with the 10 tabs. Do we need to know anything upcoming for the next couple months, or is it the same as usual? Go ahead.
I think the 10 tab, and I tried to get an answer to this question at Mid-America and did not. Part of that is because headquarters staff was not at Mid-America. They were by virtual. They did it virtually. One of the things that I'm wondering about is the impact of the 11-12 payments on purchase demand kits as we go forward. Are they going to impact early default? I don't think so, but, I have a question about that. Dealing with pandemic funding and other issues in the 10 tab, we're going to have to make sure and identify if we're doing a 10 tab on a regular 7A loan, we're going to have to identify those other SBA financing like idle loans, PPP loans in that 10 tab package. Of course, we've talked about the purchase demand process on PPP loans, and I figured that's going to be a very active area of work for most participant lenders, starting probably in November and extending through the middle part of next year.
Well, very timely. Let's ask this poll question that's on repairs. What do you think the most significant cause of repair of the SBA guarantee? We've asked this over the years, and I think it's still the same. But very smart audience. How'd they do, Lance? 85% say
they did pretty good, Joe. Of course, on a early default loan, number one and number two are going to become very important, but not properly verifying the equity injection, the source of the equity injection, the actual equity injection itself can be, the SOP is very clear, it can be the reason that SBA denies a guarantee. You need to properly verify the financial information. Business valuation being inadequate could cause a repair. And repayment abilities become so important because suddenly the Inspector General and SBA are very interested in the quality of projections that are used in underwriting SBA loans. But our group got it right. Inadequate verification of equity injection.
This is the one that I was looking forward to seeing the results. How many SBA guarantee purchase packages did your lending institution complete in 2021?
And Joseph and Delaney, I expect this number to be relatively low.
Wow.
And,
yeah.
And the reason it is we had CARES Act payments for a lot of 2021 that kept borrowers out of trouble. So I do suspect as we head into 2022, we're going to see a lot more activity in purchase demand for SBA participant lenders.
And just to follow up, if you did have any of the SBA guarantee purchase packages submitted, how many were repaired? Yeah, I think this is going to be.
And I have not seen the updates recently, Joseph and Delaney. SBA, yeah, that doesn't surprise me. SBA used to quote, when I was deputy director several years ago, and even as recently as a year or two ago, SBA pays the guarantee on a significant percentage. In fact, more than 90% of all the guarantee purchases that are submitted. However, they do repair quite a number of guarantee purchases that are submitted based on, missing information, not properly following the SOP. They're not doing a timely site visit. There's a lot of reasons why a repair would pop up. Now, the poll results don't surprise me because very few people submitted guarantee purchases, so I don't expect a ton of repair.
Russell's asking what is the source of the data for the equity injection being the biggest cause of the SBA repair? Is that directly from SBA? I know we have
that's been for SBA. Now I can't tell you, Russell, which SBA person stated that, but lack of verification of the source and the actual equity injection is one of the things in the SOP where SBA can make the presumption that was the cause for the business failure. Another mistake a lot of people make on equity injection is they go ahead and disperse loan funds before the equity injection is put in. That's going to result in a repair probably, if not a denial. So SBA has stated that, Russell, year after year after year, lack of verification of equity injection is critical.
Oh, excellent. And if you want to sign up, send me an email. We'll take care of it. We begin on Wednesday, so we have some time. But we're really looking forward to this, Lance. I think people should be gearing up for that process. Moving on, we have Delaney, who wrote this great article this morning on the supply chain issues with labor markets, inflation, and all sorts of big moving parts in this NFIB study. Give us an update on what you wrote about, and then we'll talk about the numbers in depth.
So for the labor markets, we're seeing a couple record high readings for the second month in a row. There was a record high number of business openings or job openings that small businesses were unable to fill. That's half of all small business owners reporting this. And also 2/3 of business owners are trying to hire currently. Another interesting point is about 60% of all small business owners trying to hire an employee are finding either few or no qualified employees to fill these positions. So the job market is still struggling, but there's plenty of jobs out there.
Lance, are you seeing this with your borrowers that are having issues with labor?
That's been an ongoing issue ever since the pandemic came out, and of course the enhanced unemployment has, I don't want to say it's the cause of people not seeking employment, but certainly hasn't helped people taking positions that might pay less to work a 40-hour week than it is to sit home and collect an unemployment check. But the primary thing I see, Joe, is, just going to pick up a sandwich from Arby's or McDonald's or wherever you go, Taco Bell, and every one of them have they have posters and
now hiring. Yeah.
I even saw one of the drive-through screens the other day saying, "We have job openings, please apply." You're also seeing fast food restaurants paying signing bonuses. You're seeing banks do that now for teller positions and new account people paying bonuses to employees for taking the job if they'll stay for a specified period of time. So it's small businesses are struggling because they can't find them. They're not struggling right now from a lack of revenue. They're struggling from a lack of employees. The other thing is just the Mid-America Lenders Conference, Joseph. I flew into Dallas, and the DFW airport's always a lot of fun for me because they have some great restaurants like Papa Do's and Papacitas. Well, there are lines around the corner to get in the door, and I talked to a manager when I went to Mauck, and he said the reason for the line is they only had 3 wait staff that were working at that time, and they couldn't handle the crowd. So yes, this is a huge issue, and we need people to go back to work.
Yeah, and our friend Dustin Baker, he was reporting that it's even if you're moving around in the SBA in our world, a lot of departments are looking for good lenders and underwriters and closers. So we'll keep an eye on this. Delaney, what else is inventory and supply chains disruptions? It seems like this is an ongoing issue, but give us the nuts and bolts of what you reported.
Yes, this statistic in particular really stood out to me. Almost 90% of all small business owners have said that their business is impacted by supply chain disruptions. As a result, a lot of these small businesses are planning on increasing their inventory and trying to get as much in as possible because they're still struggling to have it. You know, like you were mentioning, Dad, when you go to small businesses, I mean, they're having a hard time keeping things on the shelves, and I know that affects their sales, of course.
Well, and just to add to that, I went fishing with my brother yesterday, and we had a lot of time to talk about different business issues. And he's in the furniture business. He has 4 warehouses that supports his furniture business, and they're normally filled with merchandise. And he said he had a record revenue year last year, but what is scaring him is, for instance, on Lazy Boy chairs. Most people have had a Lazy Boy recliner. He said, I'm placing my order right now for June 2022.
Yeah.
He's not placing an order and getting merchandise in 90 days or 60 days. He's now placing an order, and it's 9 months out before it will be delivered.
Yeah, the 8, 9, 10-month waiting lines for all sorts of the bigger products. Delaney, what's this last issue on inflation? This is definitely a very concerning issue for bankers. But give us an update on if anybody can get a hold on it. I know that there's a lot of stimulus out there, and people are worried about this. But what did you report today?
So around half of small business owners have had to raise their prices in August. And if you see here, there's particular industries that are definitely feeling this more so than others. Wholesale, manufacturing, they're significantly increasing prices. Even retail, 50% have increased their prices. Again, I think they're trying to make up for many of the other issues that they're dealing with right now.
Well, there's 2 issues that immediately jump out to me. The cost to get goods to your business right now is higher as a result of higher oil prices, delayed delivery from manufacturers. In addition to what we talked about earlier in Delaney's report, employers, small businesses. I talked to a friend of mine who has several restaurants, and he normally would pay slightly above minimum wage for basic employees. Right now, he's having to pay $4 an hour above minimum wage to get employees to work. And that's got to come from somewhere. If he's going to maintain his cash flow and profit, he's going to have to increase prices. And I think we're going to continue to see this across the board.
Well, excellent stuff, Delaney. We look forward to your further reporting later this week. Again, PDK webinar on Wednesday. Lance, we're very excited to do that again. We haven't done that for a while. So if you need to sign up, send us an email and we'll take care of that. Shout out to our friends at Flagel and Jennifer, and we'll be giving some updates on what's going on in Orlando tomorrow with Chris. So this concludes today's Coleman Report Live. Thank you, Sextons. We love your input, and we'll see you guys tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern. Thank you very much.
Have a great day.
Great day.